A very good morning to all of you present here today. I would request you to kindly switch off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode. In an era where all businesses are global, the gradual integration of Indian economy with the global economy is now an irreversible process. As students of international business, it is imperative to understand the dynamics of the changing business scenario. We have amidst us today four esteemed guests, Mr. Sumeet Jairath, additional DGFT, Mr. Gagandeep Singh, Assistant DGFT, Ms. Tanu Singh, Assistant DGFT, and Dr. Amiya Chandra, Joint DGFT. They would be discussing the topic India's foreign trade strategies for growth. Mr. Sumeet Jairath is currently working as Additional Director General of Foreign Trade, North Zone. Prior to this, he was working as Principal Secretary, Power Department and Transport Department, Government of Assam. Sir has also served as the Private Secretary to the Union Minister for Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. He completed his MBA in Public Services from University of Birmingham, UK, his MBA in Marketing and Finance from Faculty of Management Studies, his MA in Economics from Delhi School of Economics, and his graduation in Economics from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. We welcome you, sir. Dr. Amiya Chandra is currently working as the Joint Director General of Foreign Trade. Prior to this, Sir has also served 3 Union Ministers as Private Secretary: Shri Vijay Goyal, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office; late Shri Sunil Dutt, Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports; and Shri Ajay Makad, Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports and Minister for Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation. In addition to the above, Sir has presented papers and delivered lectures in doing business with Central Asia to various schools in Delhi and universities in India and abroad. He's also published various articles and written the book India-Central Asia Relations, The Economic Dimension. We welcome you, sir. Mr. Gagandeep Singh is currently working as Assistant Director General of Foreign Trade and handling Chapter 4 of the Foreign Trade Policy. Prior to working for the government, he worked in the investment banking sector, trading different asset classes like interest rates, foreign exchange and credit derivatives with some of the Fortune 100 companies. Mr. Singh is a graduate of the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, and holds an MBA from IIM Bangalore. He was awarded the CRISIL Young Thought Leader Award by CRISIL Limited, India's prestigious rating organization. We welcome you, sir. Ms. Tanu Singh is currently working as Assistant Director General of Foreign Trade and is currently handling Chapter 4 of the Foreign Trade Policy. Prior to working here, she was working with Bharat Petroleum in the Urban Retailing Division. She's also worked with DRDO as a scientist at Dehradun. She's a graduate in Mechanical Engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and is an MBA from IIM Bangalore. We welcome you, ma'am. I would now like to invite Dr. S. Chaturvedi, Director BIMTech, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So I extend a hearty welcome to our honored guest today from the Directorate General of Foreign Trade. We are overwhelmed by their generosity, and I would like to convey my heartiest welcome to both Mr. Sumeet Jairath, the Additional Director General of Foreign Trade, heading the North Zone, and Dr. Amiya Chandra, the Joint Director General of Foreign Trade, who are from the Indian Civil Service. Some of the foreign students are sitting here, and for them it is very pertinent to note that Indian Civil Service is one of the unique features of the Indian Republic. The top talent from the country recruited every year. There is a UPSC examination, Union Public Service Examination, and a few hundred brightest young talent identified and inducted into the Indian civil service. I had the privilege to talk both Mr. Jayarath and Dr. Chandra for last 15 minutes, and I could know their grasp about India as an economy, India as a nation, and India as a society. So next 3 hours, when you will be addressed by the gentlemen and also 2 young officers assisting them, Mr. Gagandeep Singh and Ms. Tanu Singh, it will be very rewarding to all of you. I would also like to listen their views. How India's international business can be expanded in 21st century. Some of you may be knowing the fact that in 60th century, India's share in international business was around 25%. It is part of the history. Exactly, I cannot claim because I have no evidence, but I have read that India used to have 25% share in the global business, international trade. Now, of course, we are trailing behind China and many other developed nations. And if we have to catch our competition with China as top economy by next 10, 15, 20 years, we have no option but to industrialize very fast and to reach to the farthest points in the globe for grabbing opportunities in the international trade. Last 20 years, Indian traders have gone to various parts of the world. If you visit China and its booming industrial towns, you will find that Indian traders are everywhere. They are going to buy from China or selling to China. In every industrial town of China, you will find Indian restaurants. Indian restaurant doing brisk business because Indian traders in hordes are going to China buying products. And these are the exciting times. When some of you will visit abroad, you will find that all international airports, Dubai, Frankfurt, London, you will find Indians and Chinese are traveling. What does it show? It shows that Indian and Chinese businessmen and traders are going worldwide, exploring new opportunities. Those who are pursuing MBA in international business, they should not look only for jobs. Some of you are from businessmen families, enterprising families. Some of you may not be from businessmen families, you may be from the families of government employees or from academicians or from engineers. Think about opportunities. International business provides innumerable opportunities to young people. And in this world, in this era of internet age, you do not require capital. Without capital also, you can manage your businesses, you can set up your startups. And recently, in the union budget, government has announced so many schemes to support budding entrepreneurs. Some of the alumni from BIMTech, they have ventured into international business. They have established their credentials. They are doing well. I look forward to both Mr. Jayarath and Dr. Chandra that they should guide our students, that not only they should become good managers of international business, they should also think about entrepreneurial opportunities in international business. Not only they should be job seekers, they can also become the job givers. With these words, once again I extend a hearty welcome to our honored guests. Thank you.
Thank Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. I would now like to invite Dr. Anuj Sharma to enlighten us on the topic.
Good morning to all of you. So when we have such a high-powered panel over here, I think that my job is slightly difficult because the things what they will be telling, I'll give more time to him. So very briefly, I'll introduce the topic to all of you. As being mentioned by Director Sir, if you go to the earlier times, we talk of our history of exports. India has been doing good exports. The exports in the time of ancient India, India used to export spices. Talking of the Mughal time, 16th century, Mughal period, we used to export lot of textiles, cottons, and then precious gems were the items of export. Talking of the contemporary modern India after the independence, there was some restrictions being done on the imports. As a result, the quality of output was affected quite negatively by it, so which meant that our exports were not doing well. 1991, 1990, the time at which most of you must have been born or 1 or 2 years old, that was the time when the liberalization happened and import controls were being removed. So at that time the exports was around $18 billion, and thereafter we have moved a lot. We have covered a lot of ground in past 22 years. Talking of the last decade of our export, we talk of exports in 2002 and 2003, it was around $53 billion. That increased in 2012-13 to around $300 billion. So that also a lot of increase in export have happened in last 10 years. Talking of last 2 years, the exports have not done significantly well, especially talking of 2012-13, our export dipped by around 2%. There was slight recovery in the last financial year, where our exports increased by around 4%. But talking of last couple of months, the data for June has just now been released. We see that for the month of June, there has been an increase of around